The Monmouth Moms podcast is sponsored by Jenkinson's Boardwalk. Spring is right around the corner, which means that it's almost time for Jenkinson's Boardwalk's annual Easter sale on April 7th, 8th, and 9th. Stock up on summer fun with their best deal of the year. Some offers include buy one $50 ride card and get one free. That's 2 times the credits and fun. Plus family fun packs that include 5 passes to the aquarium, Funhouse, and Castaway Cove mini golf for one low price. Make lasting memories and get ready for summer with the Easter weekend sale online or on site at Jenkinson's Boardwalk in Point Pleasant Beach, the premier family fun destination at the Jersey Shore. Welcome back to the Monmouth Moms podcast, presented by Jenkinson's Boardwalk. Thank you so much to our awesome sponsor. We love Jenkinson's. Can we just talk about the weekend? Because I was listening to the radio on Friday, and someone was like laughing about, I guess they were talking about what they had planned over the weekend. They're like, well, there's only 2 more work days till Monday. It's so true. I'm like racing here this morning, and I'm thinking like, what? I don't even know what I did this weekend. It's like I blinked and it was over, and I don't know how it got this way. It's just like, I wish that there was downtime sometimes. I actually did take off a little bit this weekend because normally I'll work. Like I worked a little bit Saturday morning, but like I fully did not work at all yesterday. Like I had my parents over for dinner, like I cooked and whatever, but it's just like it blinks. It's like you blink and it's over. So anyway, thank you so much to our guests of Spark Day Camp. We have Joe and Janice today, director and assistant director of Spark Day Camp in Middletown, New Jersey. Thank you so much for joining.
Sure.
We're going to talk all things summer camp today. So it's March now. Can't believe it's March. But summer will be here. We're going to blink and it'll be here. I'm looking forward to this. I'm a summer person. My birthday's in the summer. I've like just always loved. I think my birthday's the end of June, so it like always kicks off the summer. And big fan of summer camp. My son, when he was growing up, he's 19 now. So when he was younger, he always went to the rec camps, and it was very affordable. I was a single mom, and he went like from 9 to 3. It was perfect. But the downside was that if it rained. So either I had to leave work or someone was going to pick him up. I was always scrambling, and it was only till 3 too. So it was like, there was a lot of benefits. Obviously, it was very economical, but at the same time, you're really banking on that weather. Yeah. So I'm excited to delve into all things summer camp today. Hear about everything that Spark is offering this summer in Monmouth County. So tell me a little bit about, Joe, where are you from?
Originally Brooklyn,
okay.
New York. Moved to New Jersey back in 2000, and have been out here ever since. Moved to Bergen, moved to Sussex, and now down in Burlington.
Oh wow!
County.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were just saying my dad's in Burlington County too. Great area, and I think is really starting to grow more now too because of COVID and everyone moving out of the Philly area. So I'm sure you're seeing a lot of growth. It's probably it was much quieter, right? And now you're that's what my dad's saying anyway. Yeah. Right. So and you have a background in camps too.
In camps and teaching.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And Janice, where are you from?
I'm a Jersey girl.
Jersey girl.
Yep.
You live in Monmouth County?
I'm in Somerset County.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to come down to 87 every day?
I do. It's not too bad.
Not too bad?
No.
Well, coming that way, that's
traffic.
right. You're against the traffic. My husband this morning, he was he works mostly in Monmouth County, but today he had to go somewhere, Warren, I think, and he was on 287. And I, in a past life, I had always traveled. Like I drove everywhere. I used to sell wine, so it was like I knew every town in the tri-state area really by like where the liquor store was. So if you ever need to know like where to get wine in Sussex County, let me know. Okay. I'll tell you. But he was on 287. He's like, I hate 280. Like if you're on the wrong side of it, it's the worst. It's the worst. That and then 78 too.
It's like slow golf.
Yeah.
I can't handle it.
So tell me about. So Spark is in part of Middletown Sports Complex. Right on is it Harmony Road, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So I grew up in Hazlitt. We went to the Hazlitt Pool Club for a little bit when we were growing up, but then we got a pool. So I think the first time I had been to the sports complex was, like we were saying, about 5 years ago with my daughter. And it's great. The facility's awesome. So tell me a little bit about the program
Yeah.
and what you offer.
So Spark started in 2021. Very small, intimate. We had 50 campers a day. You can argue not a great idea to start a camp in the middle of a pandemic, but we figured we needed to start at some point. And
I think too, like there were a lot of moms that were I remember that's like the first initial summer. It was like, you know, the kids had been home remote. Like they were like interested in, you know, getting the kids outside, you know, socializing, getting into programs. And even if they maybe hadn't been summer camp kids in the past. Right.
The camps that have been around for 20, 30 years, when they knew that they would be able to reopen, right, they still filled up. And they filled up even quicker because, as you just said, people were now finally kind of coming out of the cocoon of COVID. And being a new camp, our whole thing was getting our name out, right? We did things that I had never done at any of the other camps in terms of promotion. We were on billboards on Route 35. We were on radio stations. We did a spot with Comcast, just really to get the name of Spark.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to explain to people who don't know you that the director and assistant director between them have over 50 years of camp experience.
Wow.
Right? And have started camps and programs from the ground up. And that's really what we're doing now.
Okay.
So fast forward last summer, we probably started wait lists and closing groups around the first week in spring, right? Something like that. And we had 300 campers a day. So it really spoke to, you can argue both situations are pandemically related, and we attribute it to the experience that our staff provides, right? We're very, very, as most camps would say, we're very picky and choosy at who we want with other people's children, right? But unlike other camps, we don't hire anyone unless you're at least a high school senior.
Oh, that's
right.
Yeah.
Right. So we want to be able to look a mom and dad in the eye when we're giving them a tour and tell them that anything little Joey needs throughout his day, our staff is mature and experienced enough to provide it, because the majority of our staff are in college, recently graduated, or are teaching professionals.
Interesting.
Right? And for us, it's finding people who already are taking care of more than themselves.
Okay.
And we don't find that most, I don't want to say all, freshmen and sophomores in high school are ready for that. You know, they can babysit for an hour or two. You want to go to the movies, and that's fine. But really being responsible for the well-being and the enjoyment, the nurturing of our campers is paramount to us.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons why you choose to send your kid to a camp.
Right.
So that experience and maturity is, I think, what we're hearing from moms is one of the reasons why they'll speak positively about Spark.
Interesting. Okay. So what are the age groups?
We have campers entering pre-K all the way up through 10th grade.
So they have to be potty trained, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's probably most standard for most camps, I'd assume, right? Yeah. And up until what grade?
10th.
Oh, 10th.
We
Wow.
have a teen travel program for campers entering 7th through 10th grade.
So do they have any like responsibilities, or they're there to like enjoy camp? Because I know like some camps, like they can come on as like assistant, like they help
Like
with the
CITs.
yeah, exactly.
Right. They don't. They have minor responsibilities, not caretaking responsibilities.
Got it.
Right. So I'm going to let out a little secret here. Every Friday we have what we call Campfire Friday.
Okay.
Okay. And in a nutshell, it's every one of our divisions. So a division could be pre-K and K. It could be first and second grade, right? So every one of our divisions has a color assigned to it. And after general swim on Friday afternoons, our campers and our staff go head to toe in that color.
Okay.
And it could be wigs and hats and antennas and sunglasses and face paint and shirts, shorts, socks, the whole deal. And our staff goes huge. Our campers, at least a t-shirt in that color, right? And then we go across camp almost holding hands. All those colors are together, and we have a wooded area where we have Campfire Friday, where we have a fire pit area and surrounded by circles and circles of huge logs. We never light a fire. So the secret is that we keep telling people we don't know how, or we forgot the matches, but we give out s'mores. Each division sings a song. It leads the entire camp in a song. It could be anything from Baby Shark to We Are the Champions, and literally everything in between. And then we give out s'mores, and the secret is, where are you guys getting the s'mores from if you're not melting marshmallows?
Right.
So our teens, every Friday morning, before they start their kind of activities, they work together to create all those s'mores, and we make them with fluff.
Oh, that's smart.
Right.
I never thought of that.
And then we store them in
All camp secrets.
trays. Right. We store them in trays, and we actually drive them over in the trunk of one of our cars.
Okay.
Because we have a huge meeting area, right. In the woods. And then after each division does their song, we give them their tray of s'mores.
Okay.
And it's hard to only have one for each. Everybody wants another one.
Yeah, always.
But it's a great, Fridays at most day camps are just filled with camp spirit.
Right.
You know, you kind of slow down and take into account what you did and accomplished for the week.
Yeah,
You know.
that's great. So there's different age groups. Is there different programs is it all kind of standard per age group? Do you offer different things for different interests?
So if we talk about our older guys, our teens, the 7th through 10th graders, they are off camp at least 3 or 4 days a week.
Okay.
They're going on day trips, and once a week, it's usually on a Wednesday, they're always at the beach. Usually, I think we're using Seabright again, right? And then the other days, we try to give them a range, right? So a little bit of everything. So they all love going to Six Flags, and we save that till the end.
Okay.
But we'll take them to medieval times. We'll take them to grounds for sculpture.
Wow.
We try to do things that are
I still
socially.
have yet to get there. I heard it's beautiful.
It's incredible.
amazing.
And the restaurant there, Rats. Okay,
Yes.
I'll just start talking about
Yeah.
food. So keep going.
We don't take them to Rats, but it is beautiful.
I want to go. Let's all
but
go
just
now.
culturally, we're trying to find a little bit of something for everyone in that group.
Okay.
And it is a very special group. It's not a rowdy group of teens that we have. They're incredibly appreciative. And what they've done in just the 2 summers is they kind of organically start this big and little program at camp, where what we found is, because they have second lunch, the younger kids like pre-K to second grade have our first lunch, which
Right.
starts about a little before 12, like 11:50. We find the teens start moseying over to sit with the pre-K and K kids
Aw.
during lunch, and they almost each adopt one. And then what we found, when the pre-K and K kids are supposed to be kind of having downtime after their lunch before going to the next activity, they start going to sit with the teens who are at the big kid tables, so to speak.
Right.
And it's incredible to watch, and it carries through the day, because the teens are sitting with those guys on the buses.
Oh.
It's not the coolest kid on the block sitting in the back of the bus.
Right.
And they make sure that at the end of the day, to get back on the bus, our pre-K and K kids have everything that they're supposed to have to go home with.
Okay.
And they sit with them and make sure they get on the right buses. So it's very cool. So the trips aside are awesome, and they really bond.
The trips sound amazing. You said they also go to Jenkinson's too.
They do, yeah. They go to Jenkinson's. They go to the aquarium. They love the rides. They hit the beach for a little bit. It's one of
wow.
their favorite days,
I
actually.
bet. It's one of my favorite days. So, no, that's great. All right, is that standard that camps offer trips like that for the older kids?
Typically. for
Typically,
large-
okay, got
larger
it.
day
I mean, I guess
camps
that makes
too.
sense if you go to things like there's always like a camp there of some, like during the summer if you go to an attraction of some kind.
Every minor league baseball, well, even the major leagues have camp days.
Oh, so
where
they
they-
go to the Blue Claws or?
We took them. They're not this like incredible sports group of kids.
Oh, interesting.
You know.
Okay.
So we're not going this year. Maybe we'll bring back the Blue Claws next year.
Yeah,
But
that's a great stadium though, because they usually
Incredible.
have. Years ago, had my son's birthday party there. I think it was his 9th birthday. I swear it was. It's probably changed a lot since then, but they did unbelievable job. I think it was like $150. I'm sure it's changed. It's been a long time. It was like $150, and they like brought him out to the field and and
throw the first pitch.
threw the first pitch, and then they gave him a signed ball and like food. And the food there is so good. I like love that place. I haven't been there in ages.
They have like the boardwalk of games
yeah,
and stuff.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So maybe the different, like you said, a different
Look,
group of
I
kids.
played baseball for 36 years. I couldn't wait to send our teams to there, hoping that I'd be able to meet them that day, and I couldn't. But
Did you play professionally or?
no,
Oh, okay.
no. That'd be great. But played in adult leagues, played a bit in college, and then I thought our kids like, hey, it's baseball, right? Like, how are you not feeling what I'm
it's like
feeling?
an American, pastime.
Right.
Although I don't know, my husband played for a long time, and he had retired when I met him, and I still like don't. I mean, I'll go for the game, or like just for the food and stuff, but I have no idea what's going on. So I'd be in the same group as the kids.
I got you. Okay, I understand.
Yeah, I'm like the only person in my house that's like not into sports, but I go, just for.
Well,
support.
our program is we try to have them try everything, and we think it's equally as important to figure out what you may not want to go back to as a choice activity, because we also offer choice.
Okay.
But we have all the staples of camp, right? Creative arts, performing arts, a ton of different sports.
Okay.
But we also have some bells and whistles, right? So because we're at the Middletown Sports Complex, we do take advantage of our 2 full-size ice rinks. So our kids not only...
in the summer, too.
Right, learn how to swim, which life skill, tremendous. And the average is that, depending on how many weeks you're at a camp, just the frequency that you're in the water, you're going to go up at least a level or 2 of your ability to swim. But that frozen water that they're on is just... first of all, anybody who complains that they're hot because they just finished playing soccer and they don't feel like going to their next activity, we just walk into one of our rinks for 30 seconds and they're like, okay, I'm ready. It's the best air conditioning in the world.
Yeah.
But our kids learn how to skate. They're instructed by the same people that do learn to skate at the Middletown Sports Complex all year long.
Oh, I didn't
they
know they
work
had
with
that.
camp.
That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah, learn to skate, learn to play for the hockey program. So it is cool, and our counselors either never skated or it's been so long that they're learning alongside their campers, which I think makes it even sweeter, right?
Yeah. I need that. I need to sign up. I still can't skate. My daughter is like afraid also. We both need to sign up and go this summer.
You can.
But yeah, no, it's a great skill to have, because we've been to a few parties this year, like roller rink parties and stuff, and she like won't go because she's she fell once, and it's like once they have that fall, she just can't like get past it. So it's it probably pushes them to.
We have those trainers on the ice, which are basically walkers that slide, right? And it helps. But the secret is, every time our kids skate, the first half of their session is instructional.
Okay.
We don't give them the trainers until after the instruction.
I see.
It's almost impossible to fall, but every kid wants to be on the ice. But we always recommend to our families, you know what? In the beginning, just send in a helmet, like a bike helmet, elbow pads, knee pads. They'll have so much confidence because they'll realize I'm not going to get hurt, and it helps them to learn even that much quicker. And then by the 3rd week, they're starting to take off that stuff.
Got it. So there's different programs that they have throughout the week. Can campers sign up for different things? Like, how does that work? Or they all do the same thing?
So in the afternoons, we offer electives.
Okay. Oh,
so for
wow.
each age group. So they get a list of the activities offered that week.
Okay.
A week in advance, so they can go over it with their parents and pick, I want to go to crochet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or dance.
Okay. Do you have like STEM activities and stuff?
We do.
Yeah, we're partnering this year with Voyagers. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
Yeah.
Voyagers is moving from Port Monmouth, I think, in that area.
Yeah, I want to say
Port
yes,
Monmouth,
but,
right? And they're moving to Brookdale Community.
Ooh.
Brookdale is refurbishing a 8,000 square foot lab/building for them.
Okay.
And so we're partnering with them. Our kids, first through teens, are going to go there. It's a 12-minute bus ride.
Wow.
And learn, there are some programs in the area where like you'll learn how to fly a drone. Voyagers will teach you how to build one.
Wow.
You know,
And fix it.
and fix it, right?
So their facility is going to now be on Brookdale's campus.
Correct.
Wow, that's interesting. I did not know
Yeah,
that.
so we're going to go there, but they're going to come to us for our pre-K and K kids. So
Okay.
our STEAM program is going through the roof. We also have a day of CSI forensics, right? I
Wow.
mean, every other show is that, right? So we work with a woman who was with the New York Medical Examiner for over a dozen years, and she started this program. And she goes to different camps. She also runs her own stuff, and she sets up the room with clues everywhere of what happened and how do you solve it.
Whoa.
And our kids actually learn how to lift a fingerprint
Okay.
and figure out who it belongs to. They learn how to, and it depends on the age group because the crime changes. I mean, for our younger kids, it's who stole the cookie from the cookie jar kind of thing, right? And then they actually learn how to test, is this blood, is it paint, is it magic marker, is it right?
Wow.
And then they have to solve the crime. And they're in teams. They break up into groups.
Uh-huh.
No one ever gets it right because when she shows the video of what happened, it's not what they all thought, but they're still learning all those skills.
Wow.
And, years ago, we used to have at a sleepaway camp I ran, we had a huge culinary program, right? The chef was an incredible teacher. And there are actually people who went into that field because of it. That's kind of what we're hoping. We
I love
hope that
that so
camp
much.
is kind of like, when you first went to college, they had the core classes that you had to take. And that was hoping that you'd figure out what to major in by your third year. That's what we hope camp becomes.
Yeah, I think that's so important to start teaching that. The younger, the better, really, because I just started working with a new business in Rumson, New Jersey, and they do a few different things, but part of their programming is they offer like career sparking programs basically, and they're very specific. Like if you wanted to get into sports marketing, if you wanted to get into fashion merchandising, and they have people who like have worked in the field or do work in the fields and are kind of coming and maybe I don't know how it's set up, but volunteering their time to really talk to these kids about like tweens and teens about what it actually is. There's I could go on and on about like all the high school, how it does not prepare you for the real world, but and there's so many things that I think kids are just like, oh, I'll just pick this major, this sounds good, and they don't like even apply it to what it could, what it's actually going to be like, right? And like what could, how you could take care of yourself doing that and stuff. So I think that's very cool that we can start like influencing the kids to really like spark any passion that they have.
Good use of the term.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I rehearsed it all morning.
We've always, haven't you always felt like as a parent, I wish schools can teach our kids how to study,
Yes.
right? Like, because we all have our own way of doing it, and often it's how our
Connor's agreeing.
parents,
We're back there, yeah.
often it's how our
like, damn it.
parents instructed us, like, hey, do this, and that may not work for you personally because
Oh,
we
for
all
sure.
absorb the information differently.
Yeah.
And I always thought if we can incorporate that into camp somehow, but I know the three of us know that if you offered that as a choice elective, nobody's signing up for it.
Right.
They'd rather go play Gaga. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
understand it,
Yeah.
of course.
Right.
But I always thought that would be an incredible thing if you can work. Like, even if you can work into how to be a better public speaker.
Sure. I know.
Right.
Without having to like have that dreadful like debate class where you're like just like sweating getting up there,
And
but
defending a stance that you probably don't believe in, but because it's debate, you got to take that.
you have to.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Agreed. Yeah. I wouldn't know like how to, make a setting that's more comfortable, but I'm sure there's lots of ways. So. So you have obviously amazing programs. What about the little ones? What are they doing during the day?
They pretty much get to do everything that our older campers do, just on a smaller scale.
Okay.
They don't leave the campus,
Okay.
which is the main difference. We try to give them a little downtime. They have their own dedicated space also that's set up for games, story time.
Oh, okay. And so they're pre-K, going into, and then I imagine like K through second is probably like the little, or K through third.
The pre-K
When do
and
they start going on
K
trips?
are together,
Okay.
right? And because we don't take them off, we bring stuff in for them.
Okay.
So like the fun bus will come once or twice a summer.
Oh, I like
We'll
the fun
bring
bus.
exotic animals in, right? We're planning to do that this year. So we want them to still feel this like special. We even, for our general swim, which we bring the camp in stages, we have them feel like the pools are theirs, right? There's no other groups there,
Oh,
right? Which they love, right? They're like, oh, we can go in this pool or that pool or that pool, depending on their swim abilities. But
and yeah, we'll mention too the Middletown, the sports complex. How many pools are there on site?
3 outdoor pools.
There's 3 outdoor pools.
And one of them is no more than 2 or 3 feet, specifically for those
For
guys.
the babies, yeah.
Right.
That's great.
Yeah.
So if they don't know how to swim at all, is there's someone on staff that is helping them like learn, or how does that work?
Yeah, we have a swim assessment the first day of anybody's camp experience, right? And that tells us which pool they can go in, up to what depth, and they get a bracelet which tells them, which tells us when they come to the pool. And they spend the summer trying to get the next bracelet. So our main pool goes from 3 to 11 feet where the diving boards are. We have a pool with a slide that's probably about 3 to 10, and then we have that smaller pool. So they have that swim assessment. It tells us where they can go and which instructor they should go to when they have swim instruction.
I see.
Pre-K and K have swim instruction 5 days a week. 1st through 6th have swim instruction 4 days a week, because once a week we partner with St. Mary's Parish. It's a 5-minute bus ride for us. It's 1.5 miles away. And each weekday we send a different age group there in the morning. We use their outdoor fields. We use their indoor gymnasium. We use their indoor stage. We kind of take a piece of Spark and bring it there for a different age group each morning, and they're back in time for their lunch and afternoon activities.
Oh, wow.
So they're getting off camp as well, right? A little more often.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
So you offer transportation to and from?
Door to door.
Door to door. I love that. I love that. That's very, and then before care hours, after care hours, how many?
8 to 9
8 to 9.
before care, and 4 to 6 for after.
Till 6, so 8 to 6. That's
Yeah.
great. I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
that. Yeah, back in the days when I was not working from home, and that you just needed that before and after care of racing to drop off and pick up. Hopefully that 287 wasn't backed up, and getting there on time. But that's really, so valuable to parents that are working and have a great place for their
Right.
kids
Yep.
to really thrive and have incredible resources. So, you feel good about like what you're doing throughout the day, because that mom guilt can be really, really tough. So, I think that, the summer camps, I know, just from running Mom with Moms, I get messages all the time from people asking for recommendations. Do you know anyone personally who's gone here, or, have you heard good things about this camp? Because it's a big decision. You are, most parents, I think, really have to work these days, and both parents, right? And you don't want to have to spend the entire summer away from your kids, but, so many do. And if you are going to, that's a long time, 8 to 6 that you have to, spend away from your children. So I've been there. I, have, you see both sides. You want to be, growing your own career, and there's all the things that you want to do, but the summer is, sometimes like, you want to spend time with your family. So if you can't, I think it's a great, alternative to send the kids to somewhere where they can grow and learn and really, enjoy themselves and socialize with other ones too. So
There's nothing better than Camp Mom.
yeah,
The difference is you don't have 3 pools, ice rinks, and unlimited opportunities to make new friends.
I love that.
Like whenever you survey families after camp, the number one reason we as parents send our kids to camp is to make new friends. Their birthday invite lists blow up after a week at camp, right? And that's what it's about.
Right.
For us, it's about creating this sense of belonging, right? Like how many times have you told your kids when they walk in the house, they just throw their backpacks down and go for a snack or whatever? That's the feeling we want our campers to have, right? They all get their own locker. We give them a backpack, and they come in, they put their stuff down, and they're ready to go.
You offer lunch too?
We provide lunch and snack every day.
Yeah, because you have the food there
The
too.
cafe,
so, yeah,
right.
the cafe, right.
And so for parents, it really couldn't be easier because a week in advance, they're getting a link to order their lunch the following week for their kids.
Okay.
And every other week, the main items change. But then if your child is not into the main item on any given day, we have the mom and dad staples. There's pasta with marinara or butter sauce every day.
Okay.
There's bagels every day. There's salad or cold cut sandwiches every day. And our snacks are always something frozen, right?
Right.
But the belonging that you speak about, right? Like you feel guilty as a parent.
Mm-hmm.
I know I did.
Yeah.
And I will tell you that without any embarrassment, I can't tell you how many reunions I've gone to for my daughter's camps. And you see the montage and you see your kid having this life without you. But it's incredibly enriching.
Yeah.
And so it battles the guilt a little bit. You're like, oh my God, look at him, look at her.
Yeah.
And that's really what camp is about. So for us, our goal is to always develop more camp people. Like we think about what kind of world we'd be in if more people had gone to camp.
Agreed. I only really know this. I didn't go to I think I went to rec camp too growing up, but working within the local moms network and the Monmouth Moms, and we were just talking about the camp conference that we were going to, and a few of the moms that I work with, their kids have gone to sleepaway camp and stuff, and they all talk about like the invaluable experience, like how they have friends, like the moms I work with, they went to camp and like they have friends that they met in camp and still get together with. It's really like they form a very strong bond from the experience they've had.
So I'm just going to say this about that. There is the people I speak to every day outside of working are people I went to camp with.
Wow.
Not school. We're having our 100th reunion for the sleepaway camp I started at in July.
Wow.
And it's not open anymore. It went out of business in 2005.
Okay.
But this groundswell on Facebook pages of, gee, I wish it was back and whatever. These people can't wait to get together, and they might have gone in different decades.
Interesting.
Right? But that is what camp is about. That's the draw that it has. And those moms who send their kids to overnight camp, those kids in college, if they have the opportunity to go away, they've already been away. They know what the independence they gain.
Yes.
So now their roommates may be like, oh my God, first time I'm away for so long. All the campers are doing is studying. They're ready. They can't wait to go to school.
Right.
So, and that's what camp does.
I love that. So what are the dates that you are... When does camp start? When can I join?
June 26th.
That's my birthday. Perfect.
Oh, there you go.
There's no crazier birthday than having a birthday at a camp.
I'm going to start on my birthday, and runs through when?
It's 8 weeks till August 18th.
Oh, okay, perfect. And then back to getting ready for back to school. So runs all summer. You have trips. You have all kinds of amazing programs. Can the kids take hockey lessons? Is there hockey?
They can. There's not necessarily a camp, but we have a lot of campers who learn to skate with us and go on to learn to play and become a Titan and play in the leagues that we have.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then let's just talk a little bit about Middletown Sports Complex, because they're open year round, and what's happening now, because I know there's lots of new stuff.
So Janice and I were just asked to be GMs of the complex now, right?
Congrats.
And thank you. And our goal is to bring in new programming. So we want to start having like Gymboree and Mommy and Me classes and martial arts and dance.
I can't tell you how many local businesses or budding businesses that I work with that are always looking for venue space to host, classes. So I think that there's just such a demand for it.
We're going to do concerts on the ice. We cover the ice with boards, and so you can sit on the ice. You might be able to dance on those boards. We'll bring in depending on the group, right? You can just sit in the stands. We have a 1,000 seat arena in one of our rinks.
Yeah, I've been in it. It's beautiful. Really nice.
Yeah, so we're going to bring in lecture series. We're going to bring in those Mommy and Me things. We want to become more of a community center, if you would, right? And have parenting workshops, and that's our goal for the facility.
So the facility inside, and you have the rink, and then there's a physical therapy center, right?
It's a sports performance lab. So we're going to help you with training. You can sign up for that. We basically have on our second floor, if you walk, because we have 3 professional teams that play, right? we house these guys. They're from all over the world. We own residences in Ocean Grove, really like huge bed and breakfasts. And this is what it does for camp. And I'll get back to the facility. Those players, as soon as their season's over and they move out, because we still have those residences, we do something at Spark that traditionally is just for overnight camp. We work with Camp America, and we bring in international staff to work with our kids at camp.
Okay.
So, and mostly from the UK. So, and they're all background checked, the same as our counselors. And so within a week or two, we have campers going home with British accents.
Oh,
Hello,
funny.
Mom. Hello, Dad. And the parents are like, where is this coming from? But the exposure for our kids and our American staff is incredible.
Wow.
And then those guys get to travel the States for 30 days after their employment ends.
Okay.
That's part of their visa.
Interesting.
But yeah, so it kind of ties everything in. We have this cafe. We have a full bar and lounge on the premises.
I
so
didn't know
during
that.
hockey
Oh, I
games,
guess I did know that. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
you can have an adult beverage if you'd like.
All right. I'm in.
Yeah, come on.
Can't wait.
And April 1st, and I should not neglect to mention this, one of our campers, 7-year-old Skylar, a couple of months ago was diagnosed with leukemia. And it hits home, right,
Yeah.
when it's one of yours. And her family, they've been such supporters of Spark since day one that they have volunteered time and time again to be one of those families willing to speak to potential new camp families on our behalf, to let them
Ambassadors,
know
right.
exactly right. So Skylar is great. They sent us a picture the other day. She's wearing her Spark t-shirt.
Oh.
She can't wait for camp. She has an older sister as well. But April 1st is our Titans top tier team's last home game. And we're making that a play and skate for Skylar event.
Oh,
So
I love that.
the tickets, the bar, the cafe, all those proceeds will go to Skylar's family.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, they've partnered with Infinite Love for Kids Fighting Cancer. She has her own page there. It's
Okay.
phenomenal. And we're going to send you the flyer with
Yes.
QR codes so people can either purchase tickets or make a donation. But if you read a little bit about Skylar, her smile just lights up a room.
Yeah.
You'll want to be involved, you know. So we hope people can come out, and if they're unable to, it is April Fool's Day, but it's a Saturday. You can still make a donation. Our hope is that we push the family's financial goal with Infinite Love over the top for that event.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, the families need all the help that they can get when they're experiencing, such a trying time.
Right.
So I will definitely help to get the word out
Thank
and
you.
send me that over. But April 1st,
April
and
1st.
where can everyone find Spark?
Everything about Spark is on our webpage, sparkdaycamp.com.
Okay, is Instagram is Spark Day Camp, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at Spark Day Camp. I think it is.
I think it's Spark Day Camp NJ.
NJ. Okay, all
Right.
right.
There's Instagram, there's TikToks.
Okay.
We're always being made a fool of on our TikToks, and that's fine. That's what it's about.
Enrollment is still open.
Enrollment is, and this is so important for families to know.
Okay.
Day camps in the area start enrolling literally as soon as camp ends in August for the following summer.
Yeah.
And what we're finding is our enrollment is probably 4 times where it was a year before in terms of numbers. And I know that the camps that have been around for 20, 30 years, they're already closed out with groups.
Yeah, a lot of them are filled up. Yep.
Right. So we still have space. We've had to close some weeks for some groups, but we still have space in many of them. And for us, I just want your kid to go to camp. That experience is, as we've discussed, it's invaluable.
Yeah, for sure. I think we were just chatting, earlier too about how camp moms are planning much further in advance. Like our summer camp guide used to come out later into the new year, and now it comes out much earlier. So There's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of new camps, and great programs, activities, things for kids to do throughout the summer. So definitely check out Spark Day Camp. You can also actually find information about Spark in the Monmouth Moms 2023 summer camp. I almost said 22 summer camp guide, and there's links to the website there too. So if you wanted to, grab some information, we have a lot of images and cool stuff on there as well. Thank you so much for coming on to talk about camp. I think it's just important for moms to know, right, what to expect and what's out there, and what great things they can get their kids involved in this awesome community that we live in. SparkDayCamp.com. Any questions, just reach out to me, and I can also put you in touch with Joe and Janice. So thank you. And coming up, we last week we announced our next event of 2023. We have the Monmouth Moms Springtime Festival. It's on May 7th here at Bell Works in Homedale, New Jersey. Really excited for this one. We're taking it up a notch. We are adding Touch-A-Truck, which is very popular. So Touch-A-Truck was not around when my son was little, unfortunately. We knew that they liked them, but it wasn't it wasn't a thing. Now it's a thing, right? Where kids go and get to touch all the trucks, really. So we'll have the fire department here, police, EMT trucks. We'll have some cool construction trucks, and hopefully, I think maybe garbage too. So we're really excited about that. I'm in the midst of kind of piecemealing all of it together, but it'll all come together beautifully, and that's on May 7th. And then we also have some really cool new vendors for Mother's Day is the following week. So we have Mother's Day gifts that you can pick up for mom. We have all kinds of Mommy and Me activities, and also one more new thing. We're doing photography sessions, so mini sessions with a photographer. You do have to pre-purchase your session in advance. It's a 15-minute session you can do Mommy and Me pictures, and then she'll actually have it ready for you to gift to mom, to grandma, to someone in the family that week. And we're partnering with Sea Salt and Honey Photography and Three Girls Garden and Lauren Michaels Events, and they're putting this beautiful backdrop together, so you'll have some really nice pictures to give to mom. So I'm excited about that, and as always, some great local vendors, activities, face painters, you name it. So really great community day. So excited for that. Any information if you want any more information about it, feel free to reach out to info@themonmouthmoms.com. And also we have our birthday party guide coming up soon. Check out our camp guide for local camp resources in the area for the summer. Our St. Patrick's Day guide has all kinds of fun things to do, upcoming parades and activities to do with the kids in the month of March. And then look out soon for our spring fun guide. I can't believe it's going to be spring. It's crazy. So we'll have that out too. So updated local things to do, activities, events, and everything happening for Easter and more throughout the spring. Thanks again to our sponsor, Jenkinson's Boardwalk, and enjoy the day, guys. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.